Okay, let me just quickly summarize some of the reasons why I left Shiism and why I believe Shiism is satanic. Shiism promotes adultery, lying, and helping the enemies of Islam, as well as polytheism. Now, of course, a lot of Shias would now say, you're lying, that's not true. But the truth is, they promote all these things, but they simply use different names for all these actions and beliefs. For example, instead of calling it lying, they call it taqiyya. Instead of calling it adultery or fornication, they call it sirah. And instead of calling it helping the enemies of Islam, they call it siyasat or politics. So they just have different names for every sin and every act of kufr and every act of shirk. And one of the things that many non-Muslims in the West attack Muslims for is that they accuse Muslims of believing in lying, and they say, you Muslims believe that you can lie anytime you want in order to spread Islam and to deceive people into converting to Islam. Well, that's not true. That's actually what the Shias believe. They believe that they can lie to people in order to deceive them into converting to Shiism. We Sunnis believe that we can lie if our life is in danger. But the Shias claim that they believe the same thing. They say that we do taqiyya if our life is in danger. But they are lying. That itself is a lie. Because it says in the book Usul al-Kafi that 90% of the religion is taqiyya. That means the most important thing in Shiism by far is to lie. So obviously it's not referring to lying to save your life. Because what, are they saying that lying to save your life is 90% of the religion? Obviously this means that Shiism is based on lying. And it also says in the same book, in Usul al-Kafi, that you will know yourself when it is right to lie. It says you can lie about anything and you will know when it's right to lie. In other words, you can lie whenever you feel like it. So not only is lying allowed in Shiism, but the Shias are promoting it. In other words, they are promoting something that is clearly haram. And of course they pretend to be the most truthful people. They often say, we are with the truth, we are the truthful ones, we are the most truthful. But in the religion, 9/10 of the religion is lying, or taqiyya. And taqiyya does not mean lying to save your life. That's what we Sunnis believe. We believe that if your life is in danger, you can lie to save your life. And that's also in the Bible, even in the Christian Bible, that Abraham lied to protect his wife. But in Shiism, lying just means to lie to spread Shiism, or even lie for your own personal gains, because it says in their book that you will know for yourself when it is right to lie. This is the definition of taqiyya from Khomeini. It is the act of deceiving those who differ with us into loving us instead, and to lure them by friendliness, even in a situation where there is no fear or harm.
می‌فرماید امام صادق که التقیة دینی و دین آبایی. تقیه دین من و روش آبا و گذشتگان من است و لا دین لمن لا تقیة له. کسی که تقیه نکند دین ندارد. مراد از تقیه صرفاً تقیه خوفی و ناشی از ترس نیست، بلکه تقیه شامل تقیه تحبیبی هم می شود.
Nine-tenths of our religion is taqiyya. Hence, the one who does not do taqiyya has no religion. Mix with them externally, but oppose them internally. And the Shias also pretend to be the most pious people in the world, but they actually believe in something called sirah, which means basically prostitution. But of course, if you ask the Shia, whenever I ask any Shia, have you ever done sirah? They say, no, I've never done it. Every single Shia that I ask, they say, no, I've never done it. But when you catch them doing this act, they say, oh, it's sirah, it's okay, there's no problem with it. And then when you ask them, why did you lie? They say, oh, it's taqiyya. So you see, they have an excuse for every sin, not just these sins that I'm mentioning, but for every sin in Shiism there is an excuse. You can always say, oh, my marja taqlid has allowed it. I asked my marja and he said it's okay. So for every sin they have an excuse. They just use a different name for it. And when they help America or Russia, they call it politics. And so I asked them, hey, don't you Shias shout death to America? They say yes. Then I said, why are you helping America then? Why are you helping America in Iraq and Afghanistan? They say this is politics. Iran is against America, but Iran is just using politics. Now it's very interesting because under Iranian money, under all money that they have in Iran, it says سیاست ما عین دیانت ماست و دیانت ما عین سیاست ماست. Our politics is the same as our religion, and our religion is the same as our politics. But when you ask them why are you helping America, they say this is just politics. But on their own money, they have this slogan: our religion is the same as our politics, and our politics is the same as our religion. So anyway, another issue is the issue of shirk. And the Shias use the word intercession or shafa'ah for shirk. They practice shirk, which is polytheism, and they say, no, this is intercession. Now, I'm not talking about the difference between the Salafis and some of the other Sunnis. There is some difference among the Sunnis regarding the issue of intercession. I'm not talking about that. What the Shias mean by intercession is different even from the Ash'aris or Maturidis. You see, there's some difference between the Sunnis. Some Sunnis say that you can ask the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ for intercession even after he died. You can go to his grave and ask him to pray for you. But the Salafis disagree with this. And the Shias sometimes pretend to side with the Maturidis and the Ash'aris. They say, yeah, we say the same thing, but they don't say the same thing. What the Shias say is, oh, Ali, help me. In other words, they pray directly to Ali. They don't ask Ali to pray for them. They pray to Ali himself. They say, Ya Ali Madad, which means, oh Ali, help me. And when you ask them, why are you practicing shirk? Why are you worshipping Ali? This is worship. You're doing dua to Ali. Doing dua to someone is worship. That's the definition of worship. They say, no, this is intercession, brother. This is intercession. Don't be a Wahhabi. This is intercession. But this is not even the Ash'ari Maturidi intercession. This is clear shirk.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ويعبدون من دون الله ما لا يضرهم ولا ينفعهم ويقولون هؤلاء شفعاؤنا عند الله قل أتنبئون الله بما لا يعلم في السماوات ولا في الأرض سبحانه وتعالى عما يشركون إن يدعون من دونه إلا إناثا ويدعون إلا شيطانا مريدا.
And when they are performing these rituals on Ashura, they're actually worshipping Satan. They're worshipping Shaitan. I'm going to prove it to you. A lot of Shias complain. They say, why do you call our rituals satanic? Our rituals on Ashura and Muharram, why do you call it satanic? But because the Quran says that Shaitan wants the Muslims to feel grief. And the Quran keeps saying over and over again, do not grieve, do not be sad. And that Shaitan wants you to grieve, to be sad. But the Shia say that grief and sadness are good things, whereas the Quran says that they are from Shaitan. And then when I say that these rituals that the Shias do on Ashura, when they beat themselves and make themselves cry, when I say that that's satanic, they complain to me and they say, how dare you say satanic? We're doing this because we love Imam Hussein. But it has nothing to do with Imam Hussein. They are doing this for Shaitan. And most of them don't know it, but their leaders are actually doing this for Shaitan. These are satanic rituals. And these same rituals were actually performed in ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon. In Babylon, it was performed for Baal. The people who worshipped Baal used to hit themselves in the head with swords. And the people who worshipped Osiris used to beat their chests. And it's interesting that today you see difference between the Shias. Some Shias say you have to beat your chest, and some Shias say you have to hit yourself in the head with a sword. Because some Shias are secretly worshipping Baal, while others are secretly worshipping Osiris. And Osiris was the green god, and who was killed by the red devil. And the Shias say that Imam Hussein was green and he was killed by Yazid, and Yazid's army is represented by the color red, and Imam Hussein is represented by the color green in Shiism. So it's the same exact religion as the pagan religion of ancient Egypt. They just replaced the name Osiris for Hussein. And if you just watch these rituals that the Shias perform on Muharram and Ashura, you will notice just by the movement of the Shias, just by the way they shout and scream, you can tell that the rituals are satanic and that they have been possessed by Shaitan. Remember that the Shias claim to be the most logical sect.
سر من پریده و دیوونگی جا گرفته عقل از سر من پریده و
This Shia cleric in Iraq is very infamous for being one of America's closest allies and supporters in the invasion and occupation of Iraq. And we see him clearly possessed in a satanic way as he beats himself. Now you might say he's doing this because he loves Imam Hussein, but how could he love Imam Hussein and support the American invasion of Iraq at the same time? It's clear that he doesn't love Imam Hussein, he loves Satan. He's doing this for Satan. He has been deceived or possessed by Shaitan. And these are satanic rituals. And that's why America is promoting these satanic rituals in Iraq.
إنما النجوى من الشيطان ليحزن الذين آمنوا وليس بضارهم شيئا إلا بإذن الله وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون.
You see, Shiism was created by the pagans, by the mushrikeen, by the idol worshippers, by the satanic secret societies as a disguise so that they could operate among the Muslims. And whenever someone complains about the rituals or the beliefs, they accuse him of being a Nasibi, and recently they call people Wahhabi. They say, oh, you're against our ritual, you're a Wahhabi. It doesn't matter what school of thought you belong, even if you're an Ash'ari, even if you're a Sufi, they will call you a Wahhabi. Anyone who disagrees, they will call him a Wahhabi. If you disagree with them, in the past they used to call people Nasibis, which means the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt. In other words, if you're against our satanic rituals, you're an enemy of the Ahlul Bayt. If you don't like what we're doing in Ashura, then you are an enemy of Hussein. Even though what they're doing in Ashura contradicts the Quran. So if they believe that Hussein ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib anhu fought for the Quran, then why are they doing something on Ashura that contradicts the Quran?
قل أندعو من دون الله ما لا ينفعنا ولا يضرنا ونرد على أعقابنا بعد إذ هدانا الله كالذي استهوته الشياطين في الأرض حيران له أصحاب يدعونه إلى الهدى ائتنا قل إن هدى الله هو الهدى وأمرنا لنسلم لرب العالمين